Game 3 of the current series. If you've not seen the preceding games, you should probably check them out first. Link in the description, as well as in a button on the video. Now we're going into Game 3 at the finals of the Winter Assembly between M.Stephano and TSL.Polt. Now Stephano is the red Zerg over in the 9 o'clock position on Metalopolis, whereas TSL.Polt is our blue Terran down in the 6 o'clock position, so they're close by air. This is a tournament version of the map. There are no gold resources here. And of course the Spidey Buzz.
Uh-oh. Stephano a little bitter about that last loss, I guess. He's downgraded Polt from my friend to Polt in the good luck have fun category.
But he did bother to capitalize the Polt. That's a little bit of effort, you know. Something we said there. Once again, a fairly early scout from Stephano. His Overlord, of course, is going the right way, but his drone is as well. Oh, nope, his drone is turning up north, and he turns around to go the correct way. As the Overlord had peeked in and saw the command center. So the drone gets right up the ramp. The scout is even quicker this time than the previous games, thanks to the closer positions. Oh, this one get a kill. Kinda doubt it.
Yeah, I don't anticipate seeing as successful a scout ever again.
Polt is dropping a second barracks up in the northern part of his base, right near the edge. So we need some quick 2 racks play this time. Whereas Stephano
once again dropping his natural.
Yeah, once again the 14 hatch.
And scout drone gets pushed away.
Yeah, Stephano has no idea that the extra barracks is there.
And the Overlord could theoretically scout that fairly easily, but it's currently on the south side of the base.
Yeah, Overlord's, if he turned right away, he could see it before, you know, Marines were arriving, but it's not looking like he's doing that. And it lifts when it completes to move down to the low ground. So yeah, we're going to see a bunch of early pressure here from Polt, it looks like.
Yep, bunker going down right now, the natural.
And a second SCV coming up.
3 drones getting pulled again, as well as the scout drone returning.
The Marine is arriving a little sooner this time, though. And, you know,
the
first SCV is dying. There's another SCV coming. A lot of drones pulled this time. The Marine arrives, more Marines coming. Now, when Stephano sees this quicker 3rd Marine, you probably should suspect at this point that there's something involving 2 barracks by now.
Yeah. This is 10 drones left, actually, a couple having died.
Polt once again working on the bunker near the bottom of the ramp. There's a couple Marines here, ready to fend off the Lings, but there are, of course, Lings. Both sides have advanced a little bit. They're going to catch the SCV, so the bunker is once again delayed, but there are now 4 Marines. And, you know, even without being completed, that bunker creates a great little nook for the Marines to hide in.
Yeah. And Polt knows it, he's just got him sitting back there.
The Queen's going to poke forward and use her range. Nope. Going to turn around after exchanging a shot with a Marine. More Marines continuing to file in. Another generation of Zerglings comes out, though, and now they're pushing in, trying to clean this up. Another SCV coming now gets caught by the Lings, surrounded and killed. The Marines have a great position here, though. They're just barely getting cleaned off by the Lings, but it's taking a lot of Lings to finish them off.
1 Marine on the high ground.
Marines coming.
Doing a great job, he's got 1 health left. I like his positioning, though.
Great micro from both sides here, particularly Polt taking it. Oh, that 1 Marine finally getting caught. And for now, Stephano has held it off. But potentially at a little too high a cost. He's down at 15 drones to 20 SCVs. He does, of course, have his expansion, though. But Polt has built another command center right in his main, adding a couple more barracks, and is withdrawing from his pressure.
Yep, he's moving the 2nd barracks back up to his main. But he's going to be up 4 barracks now rather than his quicker factory and Starcraft port. He's also
Ling's
just
building
grabbing
up
his
the
gas,
ramp.
though.
There's
So.
no Marines here to... one Marine just finished building.
And what has to be to repair? And you can't repair both supply depots. Zerglings all leaving once they have too few health to stay.
Ooh,
Nope, I actually lost one.
counters with moving the Marine up and managed to catch a Zergling. Catches another Zergling. However, one of the supply depots has been killed, but 4 sliver of health Zerglings is not too intimidating of a run by.
Yeah, they do get the information though of what's basically being built, current state of the gas.
Yeah,
Polt moving
they got
his natural out.
everything. Yeah, Polt lifting and expanding.
Stephano's turning his creep spread. Changed the direction of his creep spread actually from to where he's going to be expanding this game to towards Polt.
Yeah, Stephano able to make those Zerglings count for a lot here, really. He's once again has caught up on the workers and has actually got the leads now at 36 versus 26 SCVs. So all in all, despite the seemingly high pressure bunker and early 2 racks pressure, Stephano hanging on and doing fine. Now working on Link speed, also now getting a Baneling nest. He's still operating off just 1 gas at each of his bases, so 2 gas.
Yep. Stephano, even though he knows there isn't a starport yet, just spreading out his overlord so he'll know when any drops are coming.
Yeah, the factory is only about a third of the way done. He knows it's quite safe for his overlords to be out. He is scouting around the map with a group of Lings, checking for some shenanigans. Of course, the creep highway is well on its way. And back at Polt's base, he is moving out with his own Marines, moving out towards what would be his third, just checking there. Sees nothing and turns around. Those Banelings that have been scattered on the map are all morphing into Banelings, or Zerglings are now morphing into Banelings. Up at that said would be Polt's third position.
Yep. One Ling getting taken out by some Marines here. The front of the creep highway.
Ling's getting a surround on a decent number of the Marines, but disengaging when the larger Marine starts pushing towards them. So got a decent exchange. Now pushing it again off the edge of the creep. Getting another decent surround somewhat. Oh, Banelings get killed
blowing up
uselessly.
on nothing.
Yep.
Some Banelings at the natural though. Nope, they turn around. SCV's got pulled.
Polish off the Marine force. Now that's a lot of Lings heading towards Polt. And a lot more Banelings morphing in.
Yeah, target firing those 2 Banelings though before they had any chance of contact was amazing micro.
Yeah, there's a few Marines getting caught by the Lings. Yeah, Stephano about to be up to 21 Banelings. Here they come into the mineral line. Zerglings leading the charge. Banelings come in the side, take out the bunker. And now they're up in the base. They didn't even have to break the secondary wall. The supply depot is down. Banelings blowing up a bunch of SCVs. SCVs are splitting out fairly well, but not quite well enough. Catches another multi-kill on SCVs. Banelings trying to find where they can get multiple kills.
It's for Banelings basically have their pick of the crop on where they want to explode. The SCV's not moving around, just sort of staying spread out.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna get killed without killing anything more. But
Another wave
more
of
Lings
Zerglings
just
coming in.
walk right in the open front door.
Finished off a couple of low SCVs.
Polt has stabilized for now, and he actually has a supply lead at 53 to Stephano's 46. The SCV versus drone count is 24 SCVs to 31 drones.
Yep, Stephano dropping 2 evolution chambers, 2 hatcheries. One is a macro hatch in his main, and one is his third.
Now with the medevacs here,
protections.
Polt is now pushing out with the bio ball. So all in all, despite the seemingly impressive nature of that Baneling bust, it really didn't do that crippling a damage to Polt, despite being allowed to walk right up into his base and getting some pretty decent Baneling hits on workers. And now Polt moving in with this Bioforce, stems up, Gonna catch the Spine Crawler almost right away. Oh, doesn't quite catch it. It's one hit would finish it from a Marauder. And they finally get around to finishing it off. Catching a couple Queens. Not quite gonna kill him. Stemming once again, killing the Queen. Pushing towards the natural, getting up the ramp. More Lings coming into the surround. The Marauders doing a good job of being in the front, delaying the Banelings from getting to the Marines. But it is all ultimately cleaned up, mostly. Just 2 Marauders and 4 Marines loading up into medevacs and retreating. Polt still up at 81 supply to Stephano 66. And has almost caught up, or relatively caught up in the worker count at 34 SCVs, 41 drones, plus of course a mule. And, you know, more bio and more medevacs arriving now. Or making their way across the map now. Lings and Banelings trying to catch some of this forward force. Finishing off a couple of Marines. But now the reinforcements have grouped up. So that's 4 medevacs, 6 Marauders, and a bunch of Marines. 13 Marines. Come in, stem. Marines, or the Zerglings get a decent surround on a few of the units, but it's mostly just the Marauders. The Marines are splitting and microing back pretty well. Still, Stephano cleans it up, and now has the supply advantage, 83-73.
There's a lot of, just tons of unit exchanges. Nobody's really quite done enough to take a lead yet, though. Stephano does have 1 Zergling scouting for the 3rd.
Lings heading towards Polts get turned around by the siege tank. Tank gets a big multi-kill shot. Oh no, only actually killed 1, but just did a bunch of damage to a bunch of others. Zerglings trying to catch these Marines that keep lifting off into the medevacs around the central tower. Stephano hanging onto a supply advantage at 104 to Polt's 97, but it is close. 2-2 upgrades are on the way for the Zerglings, whereas just +1 infantry weapons is only just starting. The Marines do of course have stem and combat shield though. And Polt is once again moving across the map. Is elevating a bunch of Marines up into Stephano's main. Stephano does see it with a sacrificial Ling.
And Polt is elevating up a bunch of Marines in the main. They stem up, going for the macro hat. Lings are here to meet him. Kind of backs out for a little bit. No, doesn't quite get the Queen. Backs out. Banelings clean out most of the Marines.
Meanwhile, coming from the front, tries to hit Stephano. Is not able to kill the tanks. Doesn't get the greatest Baneling bursts.
Yep, more Marines getting elevated up. Polt is still unaware of the 3rd.
Group of Lings come out, but are simply move commanded, and they try to run past the Marines. Most of them die. One of the tanks finally went down, but another one's arriving. More Lings getting caught in production. Now they turn around to engage the Marines. Marines load up into medevacs. And a decent number of them survive. That macro hatch has not quite died yet. Polt is up at 111. That's Stephano's 88. Stephano's 2-2 is just about to kick in now. Yeah, the Marines continuing to stem around and just harass these Lings. Able to avoid contact thanks to all the medevacs, just loading up the moment they have too much of a disadvantage.
Stephano dropping a 4th though.
Now the Lings moving around trying to catch the tanks, get a surround on 1 tank. Fairly easily, blowing up a bunch of Banelings on it. And now pushing farther into Polt's forces, but Polt has a lot of stuff here, and he's just going to hold, although the tanks are all gone at least. Stephano at 79 to Polt's 99. And Stephano does now have the substantial upgrade advantage, 2-2 is kicked in. Still more Marines just continuing to power forward, and they're sitting on top of the main mineral line. The mineral line has been chased off / killed. Now the Queen and a bunch of drones going back to work as the last few Marines get cleaned up. Just 1 survival loads into a medevac. And for now, Polt's push is stopped, but There are more units just ready to continue it, streaming across the map. Just 3 Marines already elevated up into the main again.
Polt just moving out to grab a third now in the middle of the map.
Marines up in the main getting cleaned up. Again, it was only 3. More now being elevated in. And more Marines and tanks just continuing to file across the map into this, forward position he's using to elevate it from.
I'm really glad to actually see Polt doing this because I've not seen it yet in competitive play. He's moved his main to his third. He doesn't have 2 command centers, it's just swapping where it is.
Now Stephano's pulled his Lings back into his mineral line at the main. Polt had pulled back with his Marines, but now he's stamped in and moved forward, getting surrounded by the Lings. Getting a bit of support fire from the tanks. Lings coming in on the low ground too, getting a nice contact on Polt's forces. Able to kill off a couple of the tanks, but ultimately Polt once again holds.
Yeah, Polt is basically just living here right outside Stephano's base.
Polt has a great position, and he's outright exploiting this elevator micro.
Just abusing the hell out of it.
Yep, Lings coming on for a counterattack into that central expansion, getting right into that mineral line. They're unopposed currently, they're going to kill a ton of workers here.
Yep, every worker's got to go.
Yep, a few Marines coming from the side to try and kill them. The Zerglings decide to go ahead and finish off a few workers rather than, after briefly engaging the Marines, but rather than committing to engaging the Marines.
Yep,
and
just 5
Zerglings even
SCVs
survive
left.
and run away. Yeah, workers killed for Stephano actually exceeds Polt. He's up at 38 to Polt's 17. Of course, part of that was from that earlier bust.
Oh, the first tank we've seen elevated so far. Just out of range of the lair. Lings coming back into that mineral line in the middle. They do clean out the remaining SCVs. 3 mules get dropped.
Now sitting there though. But they stim and
Another re-engage.
Reinforce because Zerglings are coming in and catching the tanks out of position. Shooting their way through some of the Marines, but those Marines that turned around are enough to force them away. Going back, catching the units that have been elevated, catch the elevated tank. And now working on the Marines that were up in the main. But the Marines on the low ground hold and are now by where the bunker had been so much earlier in the game. Holding right at the bottom of the ramp. Another tank arrives and is providing some support fire from behind, as the Marines are now pushing in and kind of holding this choke point between the main and the natural. Just constant exchange. The whole area is just littered with blood from Lings and Marines.
Yeah, Polt's slowly running out of minerals at his natural, though. He hasn't had much of a chance to get mining going at his new main in the middle. But he's cleaning out most of the holes.
Some Zerglings, the Marines still making their way through the main up here, catch a couple evo chambers. But now they're being cleaned up by the Lings. The last few load up into the medevac. And yet another tank on the low ground, 2 more tanks. Polt just keeping up the constant pressure. It's been a non-stop siege for quite a while now. Lings getting in here, getting good surface contact on the Marines. Once again, though, Polt is going to hold.
Yeah, Polt's had a better luck holding this position than he has his natural, or his third.
And Polt also now up to 2-2. Those Marines are unopposed in the main. They're going to kill the spawning pool. The spawning pool is just about to go down. The spawning pool dies.
New one is started at the
center again. Going for the command center, get chased off by Marines. Don't quite get the command center to the point of burning.
Polt is at double Stephano supply right now, but...
Yeah, Stephano's down to 45 to Polt's 99. More Lings coming from the side to catch siege tanks. Get a couple, but ultimately Polt still has more forces and holds. The hatchery of the natural is now dead. He never bothered to kill the lair in the main. Now cleaning up creep tumors and has more Marines going towards the third. The third has been evacuated. The third hatchery is going to die. The spawning pool just finished at the third, but it will not be around for long. It's already being targeted down. and that dies. Baneling Nest will be following it shortly. And as will the hatchery. Last group of Banelings rolling in here, trying to catch Marines. Get a couple decent contacts. Actually get some very nice contacts, but
yeah,
ultimately
all
it's
those
just
three
not...
Marines die.
Yeah. But his forces are overall just too outnumbered right now. Down at 40 supply to Polt's 85. Polt now moving to finish off Stephano's main, get rid of the lair.
Another group of Lings moving in here to Polt's second base. It's his main that became his third.
Yep, Stephano calling WAP. Cancels his third attempt at a spawning pool. Yeah, he had migrated to the northern position. That had been pretty lopsided for a while. Stephano was never really able to pull out of what had been a constantly losing battle and really get on his feet. He had no tech. Again, just finishing the spawning pool again. His army was nothing. I mean, Polt just kept the constant siege and never let it up, and it worked.
I don't think we've seen a 20-minute or later spawning pool build win yet.
The day it does will be awesome, though. But anyway, that gives Polt the advantage now in this series. He's up 2-1. It is a best of 7, so the first player to get to 4 will be taking it. And onward to Game 4.